All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruach Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, Ruel. Peace, blessings, salutations to those for elected is out there pushing, laboring, believing, and listening on to the truth. All right, with all sincerity, I made a blessing lesson be upon houses. All right, don't really got a topic or a title for this lesson, I should say. But just flowing through the spirit also, but I'm really pretty much doing I guess you could say a spiritual review or a spiritual feedback, on this movie that just came out on HBO, and the movie is called Mountainhead. All right, and this is it right here. It's a satire comedy drama, right? And basically right here, as you see in the overview, it says a group of billionaire friends get together against the backdrop of a rolling international crisis. All right, so long story short, this is going to be a little bit of spoilers, but it's pretty much, an end of the world movie, right? An apocalyptic type movie, okay, where these four billionaires, all right, have basically the control. Right, they're controlling the narrative. They're controlling the chaos. They're controlling, the tensions between these other nations. They're controlling the tensions, among the people, the masses. Right, they control it all. Right, it basically had the whole world in their hand, man. And I like this because it shows you, compared to a lot of different apocalyptic or end the world scenario movies, Jacob Trouble style movies, right? This one shows you from the point of view of an elite. All right, most movies you've seen it from your average citizen, your average person's perspective, right? But this one showed it to you from an elite's perspective, man. All right, and look right here, as you can see in in one of the still pictures. See if I can make it a little bigger, right? You can see them standing at a table, and they got a world map, right? And they just looking at it, man. All right, but this is that movie, man. All right, and mind you, whole time this movie is going down, all right, the people are it's full blown anarchy throughout the world, man. But with them throughout the movie, which I really thought was a nice perspective. All right, but for them throughout the movie, they were chilling. They were drinking their drinks. They were, eating good food. They were, basically just relaxing, man. Just plotting on ultimately, the destruction of mankind, man. Even speaks of, when it starts getting a little bit more riled up, they're gonna go to their bunkers and so forth, man. And that is, the reality of the mindset of these elites, man. Because these elites believe that, or these wicked elites believe that they can escape the judgment, man. Right? They think that they could hide from Yahweh Shemau Shai. Right? They think that they could just stack up all their billions or trillions of dollars, all right, go into their bunkers and hide away. Okay? You even seen that in another good one too that shows you a perspective of elites in the time of trouble is American Horror Stories. One of the episodes, or maybe one of the seasons, I should say, went into like an apocalyptic scenario, man. And it basically takes place in a bunker full of elites, man. All right, but yeah, these people know, right? They made this movie as a satire comedy, all right. And they got a saying, and I have that saying right here. It says, "Many a true word is spoken in jest." All right, and what that means is a humorous remark not intended to be taken seriously may turn out to be accurate after all. So a lot of times you'll see that they'll hide the truth in plain sight. They hide the truth in comedy, right? They hide the truth in satire, man, right? But whole time the truth is right in front of your face in plain sight, man. All right, going to show you, hey, the times that we're coming into, the mindset of these wicked elites, man. All right. That's why you see a lot of talks of underground cities being built, a lot of talks of bunkers, all right? Even with other countries, talks of making missile bunkers, right? Where missiles would, not missile bunkers, missile busters, I believe is what they call them, where the missile would basically average missile, a regular missile would get shot off, and it would either implode on impact or it would implode before impact, maybe a couple miles in the sky away from its detonation zone, man. All right, but these bunker busters, they're built to basically destroy bunkers, man. Right, so they'll go into the ground, right? They're designed to get shot up, go into the ground, all right, deep into the ground, and then implode, man. All right. So in reality, man, no matter what these elites do, hey, they can't escape or hide from Yahweh Shem Al-Shah, man. No matter how much money they have, no matter how much resources they put into it, all the scientists and whatnot, man, they cannot hide from Yahweh Shem Al-Shah, man. All right, because these wicked elites, like the scripture tells us, hey, they're gonna be bound up, man. All right, they're gonna be bound up in these times, man. Okay. But let me grab this scripture. This is a Sirach or Ecclesiasticus, the 23rd chapter, verse 19, and it reads, "Such a man only feared the eyes of the men, and know it not the eyes. It's like know it not that the eyes of the Lord are 10 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men and considering the most secret parts." All right. So hey, you can't hide from Yahweh Shem Al-Shah, man. The Lord sees everything, man. All right, so these elites that believe that they could hide away in their bunkers is really a foolish mindset, man. All right, because they actually believe that they have, a chance of, hiding from Yahweh Shem Al-Shah, or escaping judgment, and even if they do, survive, the missiles, right, by being in their bunkers, guess what? Newsflash, the elect of the Lord are going to come down from those chariots, and they're going to come get you, man. All right, because matter of fact, I believe that's the next one I got right here. All right, Jeremiah 16:16. "Behold, I will send for many fishers," right? Because right now what we're doing, we're fishers of men, right? We on the highways and byways, fishing for the elect, trying to seal up the elect. All right, so right now that's the capacity that we are in. We are in the capacity of fishers right now through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Al-Shah. All right, but it's not going to be like that forever. Let's continue on. "And they shall fish them, and after will I send for many hunters," right? So those fishers are going to be turned into hunters, man. All right, and they shall continue on and reads, "And they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks," man. So hey, those same fishers of men are going to be turned to hunters, man. Right, the elect of Yahweh Shem Al-Shah are going to be out here, man. All right, coming down from the church, man. Imagine having, if you ever seen that movie Brightburn, man. Imagine having 144,000 Brightburns let loose, man. All right, or 144,000 Supermans, man. All right. So those wicked elites that are, stored up in those bunkers that survive past the missiles, right? Guess what? The Lord's hunters are gonna come and get you, man. They're gonna go into those bunkers, man. They're gonna bind you up, man. All right, y'all gonna get put in chains and get ready for captivity, man. All right. So seeing that movie like Mountainhead, man, shows you the mindset of these elites and how they operate, man. All right, because mind you, for your average civilian, your average person in the times of Jacob's trouble, the time of an apocalyptic movie, right, an apocalyptic scenario, I could say, and also in apocalyptic movies, their I guess you could say their worries or their day-to-day life is completely different from how the elites, the wicked elites, will look at it or go about it, man. Mind you, man, this is a great movie to watch, man, because they were real life chilling, man. They're chilling in their mansion, having different conference calls with different world leaders, and all you see that's going on is war, right? You seeing war going on, you seeing uproars of the people, you seeing full-blown anarchy, man. Nations were falling in that movie, man. Whole time they were facilitating it, man. They were running it in the shadows, man. Okay? And they're just chilling, laughing about it, man. Okay? And they think they could just get away with it, man. But newsflash, man, you can't hide from Yahweh Shema Shah. All these wicked elites, all right, they gonna pay, man. All right? And it's a righteously deserved judgment that's gonna fall upon them, man. You know? Continuing on. This is Amos, the 5th chapter. The point I want is in 19, but I'm gonna start at 18. It reads, Amos 5 and 18, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. As if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went into the house, and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark, and no brightness in it? So ultimately, man, you can't escape from Yahweh Shema Shah, man. You can't escape from judgment, man. You can't escape from, the day of the Lord, man. Right? That's why you see these elites even try to go, they try to do these different space programs to go into the heavens, to try to go to, different planets to see if they could colonize other planets. But guess what? The Lord put a cap on these devils, man. Right? They can't escape, man. Right? They're bound to this, man. Right? No matter how much money or resources or attempts they put into it, they won't be able to go to Mars, as they speak of, or go to the moon and try to colonize other planets, man. All right? Man, these devils haven't even really explored, the entire planet Earth that they're on, man. And they're already talking about leaving to go to another planet, man. Why is that? Because they know Yahweh Shai is coming, man. They know judgment is coming, man. Right? That's why they're investing into bunkers. That's why they're investing into underground cities. That's why they're investing into space forces. That's why they're investing into trying to leave the planet Earth to go colonize other planets, man. Because they're trying to escape the wrath of Yahweh Shema Shah, man. But newsflash, they won't be able to, man. All right? But hey, just a lesson that was on my spirit. Lord, when this was edifying to the elect of Israel, again, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruach Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, Ruel. Peace, blessings, salutations to those elected is out there pushing, laboring, believing, listening on to the truth with heart sincerity. Until next time, shalom, and a ball, Kwam Yasharallah, shalom.